The year is 1919, and today is the time that the very first open house happens in the real estate industry in the United States of America. What happened? Why did open houses even start? And how can you use open houses to help you grow your business in today's current industry? In this video, we're going to go through exactly how you can use it in your business and the history of the open house. Back then, there wasn't real estate licenses. Anybody in the world could just help you buy or help you sell a house. So what happened was when you wanted to put your house on the market, all manner of people would just start throwing their signs in your yard, and whoever brought the buyer to the table, bam, that's the person that got the commission and helped the person. But society realized that that was not the best way to go about it for building representation, who gets to help who, and the consistency of results. And so we created a licensing process. We created real estate agent licensing. And from there, the exclusive listing agreement was born. Now, once that was born, it became, how do I now sell this house? What is the best way for me to make sure that I maximize the opportunity for people to come and buy it? And that's what birthed the beginning of the open house as we know it today. Now, it was a little bit different back then. They actually would call it open for inspections. Agents would sit at this single listing all day, almost every day, until they sold that house. So agents were not having multiple listings at a specific time, which is why a lot of times there's this old adage where clients will ask, and sometimes sellers will ask, how many sellers are you working with today? And that is actually from the past, because a long time ago, you weren't able to have multiple listings at the same time because you couldn't service them properly. Today, open houses are an amazing time, just like they were back then, to differentiate yourself from the competition, to set yourself differently and above what the other people do. By marketing, advertising, the way that you hold the open, the way that you present yourself to get yourselves more opportunities. So that's the basic history of the way that it originated, but how can you use open houses today to make sure that you consistently get new business? There's a couple different ways you can go about getting that new business. And there's basically two schools of thought. Number one is a farming strategy type of open house. And number two is a get any client you can strategy type of open house. Now, it depends on what your goals are. If it's your listing and you want to adequately represent your seller and you're looking to also farm that neighborhood all at the same time, this is what you would do. You would put lots of signs out. You would farm the neighborhood with flyers, door knocking to tell them that you're coming to the neighborhood to hold that open house, and you would spend a long time at that open house to make sure that the neighborhood and the community had a long enough time to know who you are and engage with you so that you could build rapport with that neighborhood and that community. That being said, that usually is a longer term play. The other school of thought is get any and every client possible. That school of thought has been very, very tweaked and dialed in by my group here at Park Place, and here's how that should work and function. One, you should be holding as many open houses as possible, different houses, so you can skew the likelihood that you're hitting hot open houses that have lots of clients coming in. And you should be skewing the geographic area and region, and you should be hitting them for very short periods of time to maximize the amount of different houses that you can be sitting in a given day to increase the amount of time and increase the amount of actual people that you're talking to, because that changes the statistical likelihood that you're going to talk to people that want to work with you. Now, time for a fun fact. A lot of people don't understand why open houses are typically on the weekend, but in the 1950s, they had what was called blue laws, and a lot of businesses were not actually allowed to have their workers working on Sundays. So open houses became almost exclusively only on Sundays at that time, and that is just carried over into today. That being said, today's work schedules are so different than they used to be. People work night shifts, morning shifts all week, not all week. Sometimes they don't work during the week and they only work on the weekends. So today you can hold an open house almost at any time of the week, and you are still going to get people that show up as long as it's marketed well and it is consistently advertised on the MLS, which will shoot out to all of the third-party brokerage websites so that people can find out about it. If it's advertised, people will show up. And that's the difference between now and then, which also allows you to skew the amount of actual people that you talk to. So if you have any questions about open houses, how to convert from them, what to do at them, that's a totally different conversation, but I'm going to be going through that in future videos. How do you actually get a client from an open house? How should you structure your open house? How do you greet people at the open house? And how do you present yourself at an open house? We're going to get into all of that on my channel. If you would like, comment, and subscribe, that would be amazing. Thank you so much for engaging in today's video. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.